Yeah. Man, yeah. BMore4Real, man.
What's going on?
What's up with you, Uncle Wayne? How you feeling?
On a Wednesday. Wednesdays do pop out so fast. Like, back here
so
again.
Quick, so fast, so quick.
That's my favorite. I ain't gonna lie. Still my favorite. Welcome, y'all. Welcome,
BMore4Real, man. BMore4Real, man. This is this is quite the time. This is quite the time. How you feeling, Uncle Wayne? How you feeling?
I'm blessed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's Wednesday. I'm here, and it's real. Absolutely, Uncle Wayne
it's
gonna
real.
be here.
It's a time to be real. And
I'm Uncle Wayne.
I'm OMG, man, and we gonna definitely get a moment of silence.
Yeah,
right now.
We really do. Yes.
Let's get a moment of silence for those that are no longer with
Not
us.
here and can't be here.
And it's BMore4Real, man. We took a little longer pause on that one because this is a heavy night, you know. It's not a good night whatsoever. But if we could be more for real, this is stuff that we do need to talk about as a community, and that's what we're going to stand firm on. As the BMore4Real podcast, we are going to tackle those subjects and those things that just absolutely need to be talked about, and we're going to be more for real about it. We appreciate each and every single viewer. We appreciate all of our subscribers. We are on the road to 200. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, man. It's BMore4Real. You kicking it with the realest conversations.
The realest
on the net,
whether you like it or not.
The realest conversations on the net. So keep it locked with us. And my heart is heavy, my heart is low. You know, a lot of people don't know that the 6-year-old that was killed yesterday was actually my nephew, and you know, he was real family to me. He's actually my great nephew. That's my niece's son, and
sorry to hear that.
It done a lot of damage to us. So.
Definitely.
Keep us in your prayers, and that's what the topic is going to be about today. You know, dealing with death and dealing with these situations.
Yeah.
What better time to talk about it? And this is actually a message to my family. This is actually a message to the people also across the internet and across the world that are dealing with similar things, because we don't talk about this enough. And on this podcast, on the BMore4Real, we're going to make sure we be more for real about it.
We got to. Have to. So tell us a little more about it. You know, we get bits and pieces of it on the news. So give us as much as you can. And of course, we want to respect the family and everything. Of course, this is fresh and new and wounded.
Right. And absolutely, we definitely don't want anyone coming in with rude or vulgar comments, with all respects to the family. But my nephew was 6 years old.
Being real and respectful, y'all.
And he was killed yesterday. He was stabbed to death by my niece's boyfriend, and it was tough to deal with. And that information is public. But I want my family to know, and you know, I love my nephew Saran. Definitely shout out Saran. I'm gonna go ahead and ring that.
God bless.
Ring them applause.
Definitely.
What I love about him, definitely a kind soul and everything. He was definitely a smart, bright young boy.
You spent some time with him.
I spent time with him
right?
a couple days before, you know. He wanted to come with me. I told him I asked his mother. Of course, she was like, "Yeah, you can come with me." We went and spent some time. Then we went out to the cookout and all of that. I went and took him and his mom home. So that's my real nephew. That's my real family, and this is crazy, and this something to be more for real about. So if you tuning in, man, I apologize for the well, maybe it's not emotional enough. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm not uppity as I should be, but this is still a be more for real moment, and we're gonna be more for real about it. So what I want to say is we're dealing with death, and what I've experienced is that people turn crazy, and notice what I'm saying. People turn crazy, like it just do some things to people sometimes, and make you do things that you normally wouldn't do. So my thing is we have to live our life that's pleasing and that would, what I'm saying, honor the life of those loved ones that we lost. And it's been a lot of them over the years. Particularly for me, I know people that never been to funerals, which is crazy. But for those people who dealing with losses, who seen people, pass away in front of their face, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? This one is for those people who seen something and been through something. You know what I'm saying? And had those trials and had those tribulations because eventually we all do. But in dealing with death, some people start to turn like crazy, and they start to do irrational things and sometimes people get so depressed that they lay down and die. But the purpose of this, and I'm speaking to my family as well, the purpose of this is just to make sure that we do what's right and honor them with our lives, not throw them away, not get so depressed that we make other mistakes and compound problems more than they are. You know what I'm saying? Is to hold your peace and let the Lord, let Yah fight your battles. You know what I'm saying? Victory is still gonna be ours. So let's get a round of applause for that as well. But what say you, Uncle Wayne?
It's real deep because, death, and if you lived in Baltimore City, you've dealt with death. Not once, not twice, but several times. And it's a lot of young ones who've dealt with death because you are really close to the ones that's dying regularly. So mentally, we don't spend time dealing with y'all with that because y'all had to deal with it because watch this, if they go into service and they had that PTS, whatever they call it, that symptom, when people die regularly, it's the same thing here in the city. You get to see your cousin, your friend, someone you grew up with regularly pass away. And a lot of times they got killed right in front of you. And none of this is never addressed. So you hold all that in. So when we, as the death in here, the toll rate, they clock the numbers, but they don't clock what the impact that it has on us here for us men in Baltimore. So this is a deep subject we have to talk about. It's very important. But the difference is you really can't tell someone how to grieve. That I learned. Each one of us grieve different ways. And like you said, a lot of them do get crazy and lose it because it's boggled up inside. They can't really talk about, and then you really, the thing about this, to flip the subject, a lot of times they think they should die before that person did. So imagine carrying all that load and dealing with life every day. Death is a tough one.
It is a tough one to deal with. It is definitely a tough one to deal with. And definitely, shout out Uncle Wayne on those comments. That's definitely deep. And
so, how is your cousin doing now? I can only imagine.
My niece, she's
a niece. Yeah, I do.
Of course, she's not doing well. So, if you can keep her and my nephew,
come on, y'all,
she has
prayer.
Another son in prayer, like strong prayer and prayer. Power prayer from the Creator, from
like
the
our
Most
grandmothers
High,
used to do.
From the Most High, that strong prayer. If you could just keep the entire family, but especially her, you know what I'm saying. We had some losses, you know what I'm saying. So it's deep. It's going to be some losses.
But a mother in there,
and I don't know what that's like. You know what I'm
Woo.
saying? So
So we
for a
as
parent,
men can't touch that.
yeah,
As a mother losing,
yeah,
we say we feel, of course we do. I know the pain is severe as well, but the inside out that they carry the child, and then to know they're dying, like I said, I experienced that with my sister, with my nephew. That's an experience no family wanna, feel. It's like you can do nothing. You that pain to see them that way. And then right now today, my sister is still not the same. Mentally not. Because she was so close to my nephew,
mm-hmm,
and him dying just never, set well. And then she said these things, words to me, I always remember. People say, "Oh, it's been long enough, time for you to get over it."
mm-hmm.
And she said, "You should never say that to somebody because you really don't know.
You really
You
do not know.
really don't know." So we gotta watch what we say when it comes down to people losing people, because we say dumb things all the time.
Right.
So
So
sometimes it's
like for
better
me,
not to say anything.
my mom, she was 2 years
Give him a
ago,
hug.
and my father was
Tell me a little
11
about
years
that.
ago.
Hey,
I mean,
if you can, if you don't
it's a
mind talking about it. I know
it's a lot of
it's a tough.
losses, and I mean we can be more for real about it.
Be more for
Um,
real. No
my
other way.
my family been through it. It was crazy to me because I had five sisters that died the year before I was born.
Five
Five. One day,
sisters.
April the 23rd. Notice the date that I was telling you.
Wow.
April 23rd, 1993. That was the
Two
year.
days
That
from my
happened to be the
birthday.
year before I was born. I was born in 1994, so you can age me
Wow.
from that. And my father died April 16th in 2013. His funeral was on April the 23rd of 2013. So it's a lot of bone chilling things behind that. You know what I'm saying? Things that I know that probably people on the outside wouldn't understand, but it still doesn't matter. I'm saying what really matters is the life. You understand what I'm saying? Because you could lay down and die, and you can do things that may be justifiable because you're going through what you're going through, but I'm just saying, don't use that as an excuse. Don't use that as a crutch to do something dishonorable to the life you're trying to please, to the life you're trying to uphold and make a name for. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that we lost over the years, especially in the city of Baltimore. The city is crazy.
Yes.
So to
Repeatedly.
honor them, I think we should look for ways that are actually pleasing, what I'm saying, to them, do things in respect of them, and honor them with our lives. So that's my thing.
And I gotta bring this part up too. This part hurts my soul. When they're dying here, their kings don't even realize they're kings. This is the point. Satan manipulated others to take them, because remember, God said, "Don't touch their lives."
Mm-hmm.
But Satan manipulate others to do it. And when I see the memorial is left, it's teddy bears and empty bottles around a tree, is the only thing that's left behind, where they say where you were, it's not worth dying. That's what I'm saying. It's too many trees with balloons and teddy bears and bottles. Too many.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a war zone right here in the city. Go through the city and see how many stops where you see those makeshift memorials. It's incredible. And listen to the ones that are left behind, who feel the pain of those makeshift memorials, the stories, the families that were left behind. So what's going on is deep,
Mm-hmm.
but do we talk about it?
No, we don't.
We talk about the amount of killing,
Mm-hmm.
but not the effect of the killing. Seriously. But it's time to. You are torn up inside.
Yeah.
You are. And you run to an easy way to get over it. But there is no easy way. It's going to hit you sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you with a whole lot of people or not. And that's when people pop and break. Because somebody will do or say something to you that has no relevance to what you've been through in life, and you lose it. from
Mm-hmm.
all the things you got bottled up inside because nobody had the time to work you through your issues. Because death is a mighty thing. So imagine, oh man, that just when you think about ain't five sisters, my man,
Yeah,
five.
five in one day. Um, it's something
Woo!
that's it's something that's certain. So we do have to talk about that as well. Death is something that's certain. The ratio, if for those that do understand math and things like that, the ratio of people dying is 1 to 1, which means for every person that's born, there's going to be a person that dies as well. Um, I think that when we dealing with this, like you said, we had a conversation the other day. Excuse me, yesterday when I was telling you what was going on because of course we speak outside of the podcast.
Absolutely.
And one thing that you said that stuck out to me was that what I'm saying, to not seek revenge because a lot of the killings and a lot of the murders and stuff that happen in the city is built off of revenge. And that was deep to me in that moment because I'm like, when
You
everything was
were,
going
you were,
down,
you were,
I'm like,
yeah, you were,
he's not going to last through the night.
you were.
The police got him, and I'm like, you know what? That's the Most High. Now I mean, we can see that that's public information. You know what I'm saying?
And we
So
only talk
we
about right.
we didn't have to get him.
We
You know what
real.
I'm saying? We didn't have to do nothing reckless, but that's what I'm saying. Death can do strange things to you and make and
Because
cause
it's
you to
what we
do things
feel.
that are
We
uncharacteristic
have to get revenge.
of yourself.
Us as men, we feel as though we do because we feel as though we're not getting revenge. Somebody's getting away with it. But
Right,
you have to understand, no one gets away with murder.
right. Pardon the interruption, but it's very unfortunate that we have to deal with things like that, but we all do, and that's the truth of the
But
matter.
do we deal with it?
We
We don't deal with
we
it.
we don't deal with it the best way we
We
can.
we
So
need to deal
if I
with
can
it.
if I can uplift and motivate, you know what I'm saying, through the time of struggles and the trials, I would say to definitely live a life pleasing because that's the only way to really honor them. If you go ahead and crash out, you know what I'm saying, and you lose yourself
Very good.
in that circumstance, then that's another loss. You
Very
know what I'm
good.
saying, and that's another loss to the family.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to do that, and that's the enemy. See, that's the enemy. That's the devil. You know what I'm saying?
What do you like?
He likes to come in those moments, and it's so subtle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he can get you just like that.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, I know
Get you
because
when
he
you
been
weak
roaming and
and
living this.
vulnerable.
Yeah, he been roaming and living. You know what I'm saying for a long time. So death is something we can't explain on this side of living, and it's so hard to deal with and hard to cope with. So for me, I just say live your life that's honorable to the person that you died. That way, when you get recognition for something that you did, you can honor them. You can make sure that their story been shared and things like that. There was a situation that I was just showing you on the way here. It was on the news
Oh
with the
wow.
guy Antonio Hart, the guy with the dreads, and he had a barricade situation. It was
I
absolutely
would love
crazy.
to show them this
We
video if we
we
could
can't
have.
share it on YouTube. See, that's the thing. We can't
Because
share
this
stuff
one
like
need
that
to
on
be
YouTube
talked
without
about.
being
Honestly, it really does.
without being taken down. So if people don't know, if you're watching from another state, wherever you may be watching from, that's a very interesting thing to look at. Go ahead and look at Antonio Hart and what the young brother was facing. And he was facing some demons. And that's what I'm telling you. When you deal with death,
True demon.
there are some emotions that come out of you that may be uncharacteristic of you. And it was, man, it's just sad and it's an unfortunate. And this is something that we have to discuss. I don't think that the therapists even do a good job, that the counsel people do a good job of dealing with
They
trauma
don't.
such as death. You know what I'm saying?
And dealing with us with it. See, it's
because
a
they don't know how.
uniqueness, right? But you know where that's supposed to be? Those supposed to be our elderly. The ones that we got up in them senior citizen homes and stuff we have up there. Those the ones, that's our wisdom right there. They the ones can walk us through it because they've been through it. We need to rely on them and spend some time with them. That's where it is. We go to those therapists who went through those colleges who think they know. It's not the book knowledge, it's the experience. That's what you need dealing with people dying and death within itself. That is definitely something of experience, you know? And we gotta face this issue. If not, do you think things are gonna get better? Because watch this, we just talked about this. Half murders, half revenge murder.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Right.
One more time. Half murders and half of them that are revenge murders.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So a tick for a tack keeps going back and forth.
Well, maybe we need to have that conversation. Is it really an eye for an eye? Does the law provide for that? You know what I'm saying? They asking for the death penalty to come back to Maryland and stuff like that. So is that a conversation that need to be had? What do the viewers think? If you ever come across this video and you ever come across this conversation, which that we hope you do, we hope that you subscribe, more importantly, but we hope that you answer the question: should the death penalty be acceptable? Should the state and other things? What are other ways to deal with these issues justifiably? How can the community uphold justice for ourselves? You know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. Because I don't think that we talk about those issues as much. You know what I'm saying?
But some people feel an eye for an eye is the right thing to do. So if you feel that way, let us know. And listen, different opinions make the whole world go around. It can't be one sided. Some people feel as though an eye for an eye is the best way. They feel as though crime right now will be less if it was an eye for an eye. Every time you kill someone, you die. It's like if you get convicted of murder, you're going to die. It's no spending life in jail. Some people want jail just like that. Mm-hmm. And if you still chop your hand off. See, these are treacherous ways, but some people really believe those ways. Do you think that will stop crime? Let's say every time they arrest somebody for stealing, they chop their hand off. Let's say every time they arrest someone and they are actually convicted of murder, did you see them publicly be executed? Would you think crime will stop then?
Well, I think there'll be a lot more innocent people that would be harmed in the making than what we would like to imagine. Because you have some people that have killed people and are in jail, but they were in self-defense. And see, in the state of Maryland, there's no such thing as self-defense. So, you know what I'm saying? A body is a body. These are real topics that we need to talk about, that we need to discuss. Like, how do we get through this? Because there is justifiable homicide, maybe not in the state of Maryland, but
you said justifiable
homicide. Like if we were to do away with him, you know what I'm saying? And nothing should happen. We already know what the magnitude of the situation is. So I'm just saying, like, how we are so dependent on the laws. We're so dependent on America. We're so dependent on everything else that's happening around us that we don't realize that we are the ones to make a difference. It takes somebody to make a difference. Definitely.
And it needs to be you all. That's why I'm on you so much. You all can change these things. We got to change rules, regulations, policies, and procedures. It's a must. If you all don't dig in and start changing them things, it's going to stay the same. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have you. It needs to be some type of therapy for the inner city for what dealing with death at the rate it is, and dealing with somebody dying and right next to you that you have to deal with, dealing with somebody you grew up with the whole entire time. Now they're gone, or you right next to somebody and they get their head blown off. Do you understand? Those things are devastating, and not only that, then you have to deal with your parents, or let's say your mother. Let me give you another prime example that happens a lot. That your brother or sister are murdered in the city, but your mother is so messed up that she don't give you the love and the rest of that you need because she can't function because of the loss of your sibling. Mm-hmm. Get it? These things that we don't address. That's how deep when we talk about murder and killing, this is what we have to go through. Who are addressing these issues?
I don't know who addressing these issues
no one
right now, but we are going to address these issues, and we definitely going to give ourselves a round of applause.
That's it. That's how we got to. It's a must.
I mean, this is like, this is BMore4Real.
For real.
here you're gonna get your weekly dose of reality. It's rated R for reality. You know what I'm saying? And uh, we have Shan already. Shan ASMR. Hey, that's Chantel. What's up, Chantel? She said, "Hey guys, hey Chantel, hey
My
Chantel, how you
girl of the
feeling? How you
world.
feeling? How you feeling?" We're gonna give you a shout out because she killed
You
it.
got to. You have
We gonna give her a shout out.
She is our
Yeah,
look. Corey is our favorite male. Anyway, she's our favorite female
Yep.
death kit. She wore it out last week. And if you missed it, you need to go back and look at that show. You will not forget. I'm telling you. It was for real times 3.
Absolutely. Shout out Shan. Shout out the
Yes.
Real Rap Roundtable once again. We appreciate you guys. We definitely appreciate you guys. And you know, just the whole things, and you know, just like I was saying, when you're dealing with death and when you're dealing with grief, you know what I'm saying, it can cause you to do things uncharacteristic of yourselves. It can cause you to fall into a state where you don't want to be. And to be honest, we gotta live our lives, and I can't stress this enough. We gotta live our lives in a way that's pleasing to honor those lives. You don't go and crash out because you lost someone. That's even more losses. That's compounding our problems. I know it's a tough thing to deal with. I know it's a tough pill to swallow. But while we have life in our body and while we are given a chance of life, we need to do what's best to move forward and continue on the path. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of our ancestors that fought and died for freedoms that we have now that they never seen, but they fought and died for. You know what I'm saying? We need to have that same respect. We need to have that same reverence for our loved ones. They fought and they died for us to be here right now.
Yes.
So let's make the best of that
very
right now.
good, sir. Yes. That's why we have to. Y'all have to continue this fight. This fight is on. This is real. We becoming the norm of these murder rate and the death like this. It's becoming a norm. It makes no more sense. It doesn't. How are the children looking up and seeing this? It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. But like I said, you know my famous line, what's next?
What's next?
We didn't teach y'all what you all needed. It's understandable. But now I'm doing the best that I could teach so you can teach the younger ones. You got to, because they are angry. We are worried about them stealing cars, but once again,
and that's another thing as well
put
too,
it in.
because I have younger sons as well.
That's
too.
it right there.
And, my oldest son, he about to be 13 this year, and you know, like dealing with death, that's another thing. Especially when you have children, as a parent, you have to show them how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be strong, or else if they see you fool in your most vulnerable moment, what do you think that they are going to copy? What they are going to follow? Take heed, take notes, and notice that we got to be strong for them, even though we don't know exactly what they're going through, because children have their own personalities. We got to be mindful of that. They have their own thought process and feelings and emotions as well. But
and you got to learn at the same time. You learn at the same time they learn. Yeah. And it's tough, but you got to be able to get it right, because they're watching you at the same time, and you don't have all the answers. And guess what? We're the worst teachers there were. We barely teach y'all because we didn't know. Get it? Look what our parents gave to us. Listen, the men in our family, they never show emotions. They show revenge. Remember I told you, what happened to you? What? I'm going to cut them from A to Z.
Right.
The revenge thing didn't work out for us. We don't need the revenge. We need to prevent it from happening. That's the goal. Forget the revenge. Let's prevent the next one from happening.
Well, what say the people? Because, you know, some people do believe in an eye for an eye, and some states believe in an eye for an eye. You take a life, well, we're going to put you on death row. You know what I'm saying? If we don't, then you life without parole. Either way, your life is taken from you. You don't get to live that same freedom. So, I mean,
so was God before Jesus Christ. So was God. That was his God tactics before Jesus Christ. Exactly. But after the love, you got to do it now with unconditional love. You want me to tell you why? Because there's more people who are here. If that person's gone and that person was guilty of taking that person's life, other people are alive, the family, and more. So how are we going to resolve it? By killing each other? Oh, you killed it, I'm going to kill you. You killed it, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you to kill you. See what I mean? What's the resolution? Is it?
Not sure.
Get it? That's what I'm saying. There is none. Murder after murder is not the answer.
Like we could be more for real about it when
We have to.
you're dealing with subjects like this, and this is why we need to bring it to the forefront, because we are going to attack things like that on this podcast, and it does not matter what people think and their opinions of the podcast. What it does matter is that if we do touch the hearts and the minds of those that are affected, you know what I'm saying, and if we reach out to those people and we are able to change them and stop them from doing dumb, irrational decisions and throwing their life away, especially our young men. I mean, our young men are throwing their lives away.
We're not here to agree with everyone. We'll be more for real.
It's a huge problem. It's a huge issue. So who are we not to address it when we got all this stuff? Man, this is be more for real. This stuff going on in our city. We are going to address
our people, our love, everything. We got to show that unconditional love, yo. We got to do it. Unconditional love.
But as far as the love your enemies and all that stuff, it's only but so much. That's what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Because you know people are evil. You know people are wicked. You can love people from a distance. You say, you stay your tail over there. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't come near me. You know what I'm saying?
But we got to learn and be
draw that line in the sand. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. We can realize that, you know, we don't work together. Obviously, we don't gotta be shooting and get to a point where as though we gotta kill each other. We can just acknowledge the fact that we don't like each other, and we gotta keep our distance because our personalities clash. Why can't we be grown and adult like that? You know what I'm saying? That's real grown.
But leaders will bump heads. Leaders bump heads.
Exactly. And so instead of fighting, sometimes you can fight. Now, if it's going to solve something, if you're going to say, okay, we do this and it'll be over,
never resolve anything.
And it'll be over.
Fight the enemy.
Oh, okay then. But if
fight
not
our enemies.
If not, then you know what I'm saying. Then there's no point in fighting.
We negotiate. Listen, we negotiate. We don't, because you know why? We have to love each other. So we have to agree to disagree. That's what being taught. That's what's teaching each other. Nobody had to agree with everybody on everything. It's crazy, but I want to put this again. You are a generation. It's something about y'all. Y'all can't handle an insult. It's like we did something to y'all to correct y'all or say something to y'all. It's like to be all say y'all. Y'all lose it. Y'all don't like constructive criticism. No way, shape, or form.
I mean that is true, you know, and that's why we are walking into a brick wall, because we can't have those conversations. We can't have those uncomfortable conversations that will force somebody to change. Because in all honesty, the truth hurts those who live outside of it. So when somebody say the truth hurts those who live outside of it.
Okay.
Because if you're able to accept the truth and all that stuff, it wouldn't hurt as much because you know the truth. And then another old person quote is, "The truth is more uglier than the lie." You know what I'm saying? The truth is more stranger than fiction. Seriously, and I mean when we understand the gravity of that and we understand, I mean it's something that we have to live and learn from, and that's part of living. You know, my brother. Shout out my brother he said something to me years and years ago. I must have been like 14 years old. And he was like, you know, every day is a learning experience. He said, how did he put it? He said, every day is a learning experience. So every day you go without learning is a day wasted. You understand what I'm saying? So we all in the school of hard knocks. We can't waste our days not learning how to be better than we were yesterday.
That's deep.
Than today, and not learning how better we could be this year than we were last year, and not learning how to improve. You know what I'm saying? Because anything other would be insane. If we keep doing the same thing and expect different results from that, we are legally, by definition, insane. So,
but we've been doing lately. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah,
and it's time to get out of that. We are suffering. We are suffering in silence. We indulge in everything else so we don't feel the pain. Mm-hmm. In order to get through life, you have to feel the pain. That's part of the process. Mm-hmm. But we don't want no pain. We just don't. That's why we indulge in everything else.
And we don't apologize about this conversation either, because, like I said, we rated off for reality. This is Be More for Real
Yes,
podcast. We're gonna clap it up. You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? We're not in the best of moods. You know what I'm saying? We are not in the best of moods, but we are in the best position to make a move on our future. So if you hear what I just said, we are in the best position to make a move for our future. Where do we go from here? We go from here with this Be More for Real. We deprogram you to a lot of things that you've been programmed to. So these conversations that people don't have. We need to share these conversations. We need people to know.
Mhm.
We need other people out there who are like us that have dealt with these things to know that there are people out there that have dealt with this. I mean, if it don't pertain to you for this particular subject, that's fine and dandy. But if it do pertain to you, make sure you hit that like and you share and you subscribe to this, because this is the hood therapy that the government won't provide you. You know what I'm saying?
This is the hood thing.
This the hood therapy that the government won't provide you. You know what I'm saying? This is the real conversation that the radio won't provide you, and all of that stuff. We stay true to content creation and to our name to a T. We be more for
Yep.
real about everything around us, and that's all we're going to do is be more
Be
for real.
more for real. I'm Uncle
So
Wayne.
definitely make sure you hit the like,
Let
share,
you have it.
subscribe.
That's it.
Make sure you get us recognized. We out to make some changes in the world, and it starts with each and every single one of us. You know what I'm saying? Us as individuals, and we're going to start that movement, being more for real about our situations, being able to take criticism and critique and things of that nature. We're going to be able to have those uncomfortable conversations on this platform. So, if you're not a fan of it, that's fine. But if you're mature enough for it and things like that, definitely hit that subscribe button. Let's get the conversation started, because the mic is always open.
Always open.
The mic is always open.
And we be more for real. We are just real. It is no other way about it. On Wednesday, we pick the topics that need to be discussed, and we discuss them. Not always the way people want. We make it real, because be more for real is be more for real. What? For real. Listen, that's our new motto.
Be more for real is
For real, for real.
for real, for real. Shout out Chantel. She said that's good game. That's good game. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That is exactly what we're here for. We may not be able to change 1,000. We may not be able to change 1,000,000. But if we impact the lives of just a single individual, we have done our job. You know what I'm saying? We have absolutely done our job. This conversation is uncomfortable. It's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't even have the mental capacity to even conversate to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Some people unlearn, and they have to get to the level where we are in our learning process. And it is our duty as people that know the information to not down them because they are unlearned, or ignorant in a certain area. That's just the truth of the matter. We be more real about it. If you know something,
be for real.
Send that ladder back down. Let's be more for real about it. Let's do it.
Listen, I got a little cheer me up doing this killing murder, but you know what a positive thing out of this? The funeral homes and the funeral service in Baltimore are black mostly. Most of them are black.
Yeah, they are.
From
black
the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
See? Listen, some positivity.
That is wonderful.
Hey, listen, you know what I mean?
It's just sad that we got to support them through death. That death is the culture. But, it's we could be real about it.
You took the smile back out.
We can be real about it. We all die. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. We all die. So I can accept that. But what I can't accept is a 6-year-old being killed innocently. You know what I'm saying? That's unacceptable.
All the way around.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. And when we're dealing with stuff like that in the community, we need to be able to recognize stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a conversation that's not being had. Who's having these conversations? Who's having these conversations with their family, with their children, with their loved ones? Who is doing that? That's the reason why so many of these crazies is running out here like that, man. We got to do better, man. We just don't do our part as family. We don't. And the ball drop really on the men. When you got men in the family, yes, they are absolutely responsible for the protection. Mm-hmm. So that's a real aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? That's a deeper aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? It's time for the men to really get your straps up. You know what I'm saying? Pull your pants up and let's go to war the right way. You know what I'm saying? The righteous way. Let's
I'm
do it.
liking
Let's be
how
more
that
for
said.
real.
You
You know what I'm
see?
saying? We attacking evil.
Now you see these
We
episodes to
we
see
attacking
him
evil.
say that you see the growth. That's what I'm saying. You all can make that difference. That's what it is. You got to break that cycle. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That will
Mm-hmm.
make all the world of a difference. But if you don't break that cycle, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And then they bragging now about, oh yeah, it was just 300. You know what I mean? This time was a little less. It's good. But watch this. That's the quiet before the storm, the
Mm-hmm.
calm.
Mm-hmm.
Someone told me earlier, you jumping all around, going all through this. Be calm. Because listen what's happening next. It's going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to stop it? That's what I'm saying. Who's going to stop it?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, imagine waking up one day where all the teenagers just took over Baltimore, zapping out, going on, burning houses and stuff. Can you kill one? Can you blow their head off when you see a child, maybe 11 and 12 years old, coming to attack you? I said it might be inconceivable, or is it? Remember, the Bible said there will be what? Father against son and mother against daughter.
Mm.
See, these things are written.
That's a heavy conversation. That's a heavy
Yeah.
conversation. But for me, it's like the for us, especially as Black people, we haven't been given the proper techniques on how to deal with these things. And while we struggle with death and all that other stuff, we also make a mockery of it. When I was young and when I was a kid, it was almost like bragging rights that Baltimore is number one in the murder rates.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
understand that.
back
You understand what I'm
then.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, why do
That's
we
what it
brag
was.
that Baltimore will be number one in the murder rate? That's just, I mean, it's stupid and dumb. And I know we call each other stupid and dumb, but I mean, like, let's not be that though, for real.
I like you said that, but it's another thing where I teach words like that. That's deep. I
let's
don't like how your younger generation call each other dummy. Those words to me, because you begin to act like what you say, and you know you all are far from being dummies. You make a lot of dumb decisions, that much,
Well,
but
like we was
not
talking about last
dummies.
week, though, and see, I love how the conversation it's always gonna come full surface because we're being more for real. So as many topics as we touch on, we'll be able to connect the dots for you because we've already previously talked about them, and we just talked about last week about about the teacher up there in Pikesville
Mm-hmm.
with his controversial comments.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And what we do have control over and what we don't have control over as parents and people. One thing is for sure is that Black people don't have control of nothing. We don't control no cotton. We made the cotton gin press. We don't control clothes, jewelry. We buy all the stuff, shoes. We don't control nothing. We don't control anything. And it's
sad.
like as long as they give somebody like P Diddy or something like that a couple $1 million and all that stuff, we able to look at that anomaly of a situation and say, no, we not. We got something. They
Yeah.
don't dictate our
Yeah.
situations, man. No, that's master defeating a house nigga in a different form,
There you go.
in a different form. And for people and for white people that may not understand that, I know that may be difficult, but it's still racism is still systemic.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going through these depressions and we're going through death at a rate that other cultures and stuff do not go through.
No,
So
nothing, no
uh,
one.
so when we being more for real about it, we have to wake our people up. We got to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. All of the culture, all of the music is shifting in a way where it's acceptable to be like, a killer and do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't even tell you that the gangbangers back in the day, they didn't kill each other. They were community people. They did stuff for the community. They bought, stuff for the community. They were watching the community.
The
They made
true
sure,
ones,
yeah,
not the
real
fake
talk,
ones, right?
the
The
real games,
real ones.
the real
It's
games.
true.
They
True.
look it up. Don't every single one of them, especially Chicago to LA.
They were a
Look at
whole
them.
difference.
Look at them. They made differences in their communities, and that's what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Without the silly nonsense of people going out there and warning against our people. See, we can agree to disagree, and like I said, we are we not grown enough to say, look, I don't like you, and our personalities don't clash. I'm not about to try to kill you, so you don't got to look over your shoulder. Don't try to kill me, so I don't have to look over mine. We just gonna agree that we're gonna part ways. We're gonna be separate. We're gonna keep our distance together. I mean,
That's
how
a hell of
hard
a
is
conversation.
that?
You think
I mean,
you can have?
it's not though. It's not.
That's, that's a hell of a conversation. Listen, that's a deep one, but will a person, accept a conversation like that? Because most of us can't have those deep conversations.
Because we wasn't
can't.
raised like that. People raised on this music and this culture where the culture actually what do you call it? It enables you to do reckless things. Like if somebody step on your shoe, now all of a sudden it's a breakout war. Like I mean, we fight over material things like Jordan and all this stuff, and even Jordan is not even giving back to the community. So like, and that's a black man. So I mean, what are we doing? Let's be more for real. Jordan got stakes in the jails and all of this stuff. What are we doing? How do we endorse this stuff when people are out doing this stuff? P. Diddy doing all the stuff he been doing to black women and black men all his life, acting like a goddamn going white slave masters like Clive Davis. People don't know about Clive Davis. If you don't know about Clive Davis, you better study him. These are the people that own the music labels and all that stuff. They just so happen to be Jewish people. We're not going to go there, but what I'm telling you is that these people own the record labels, they own the damn jails, and they doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. So when you get shot, stabbed, you got to go to court. I mean, it's a triple win. You ever seen a win-win-win? Have you ever even heard of a win-win-win? Exactly. People normally say it's a win-win. I mean, we're gonna be more for real about it.
That's
you
it.
can't cancel us because we ain't controlled by nobody.
That's it. I don't like your fire.
You can't cancel us because we're not controlled by nobody.
And listen, you have got to continue that passion because that's the only way to change some things. You do. We can't continue to live like this. I'm in the retirement stage. I'm supposed to have been retired. You are full-fledged. You are there. It's time to make some differences. Mm-hmm. That's why your children are now bucking. They're tired of that school curriculum that they're being taught. They know that stuff's not real and it's not interesting to them. We need to be preparing them for life. If they spending all them hours in school, they need to be preparing for life, not more education on. And watch this. This is the part that I got to hit you right between the eyes. School is about white folks and the things they accomplish and the things their people been doing. You get it? So if I'm a black kid sitting in school, all the history about what the white people did and the things they accomplished. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? And a lot of the stuff, when they accomplished it, we were slaves. Mm-hmm. So it don't make sense.
And that is a fact. So, I mean,
what about our life and the things?
We'll talk about a lot of things, but let's go ahead and address that. You know what I'm saying? We need America to know we oppose America, and this ain't just about BMore. I said on other episodes, it's a double entendre. We be more for real, not just about the city, but things that's going on all around us, anywhere else in the world. But in this current state of America, the way that this education system is, while we're on that, the way that this educational system is and all that stuff, we learn white people history. We learn how they have conquered lands and all that stuff, and we only learn certain things about black people and black history, just black
a couple inventions. Of few, right?
Black inventions mainly, and things that black people created, and that's it. Not a whole bunch, you know what I'm saying? And black history is limited to the shortest month of the year.
Average struggles and ups and downs, some average black folks that done some things you don't hear anything about.
And see, maybe white people do have a good heart, and you know what I'm saying, okay, this is Black History Month. But like Morgan Freeman said, one of the greatest people of our generation, Morgan Freeman, he said, which month is White History Month? Which month is White History Month? Which month is Jewish History Month? Okay, right. You get the picture. So we supposed to be limited, and then it's the shortest month of the year. So I mean, it's kind of like for black people, it's like backhanded that you would say Black History when we know for a fact that the whole entire United States, from the railroad tracks, all this, the cotton gin presses, the hair botanicals, the pharmaceuticals, we know all of this stuff. Even stem cells came from freaking black people. All of that. So it's time to wake up and realize that we need to be more for real about that. Yes. And if we can't have that conversation, this ain't the platform for you. You know what I'm saying? We here for growth and we here for healing. We ain't here for none of that nonsense that y'all talking about that the media keep perpetuating and that they want to put their agendas out. This is why we have our own platform. Like I said, you can't cancel us because we ain't controlled by nobody.
There we go. I'm loving that fire. That's the fire and passion it, because in order to make the change, you got to understand where the problems lie.
People gonna
We
be
keep
mad.
talking about the symptoms, murdering and domestic violence and drug overdose. They are not our problems. They are the symptoms of our problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we address the problem, the symptoms go away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You understand? That's it. Throwing out children at school all day, learning anything that good. They need to be learning, watch this, they need to be learning about the credit cards, the check, the budget, and all that stuff. They need to learn about all of those things.
Well, they're not going to teach them that in school. So what we need to do as parents is definitely educate our kids on finances and things like that, because you know daggone well the school is not going to educate your child on that. Let's be more for real about
that. We have to do it. You get it?
But, you know, before we go, we definitely still want to stick with the topic of dealing with death and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if before I leave here today, the only thing I want to do is encourage people to use things like death, is to use things like adversity to inspire you to move forward in your goals and your plans. Do not let that hinder you and be a roadblock. You know what I'm saying? Because for a lot of people, death and adversity can become a roadblock, and that can become one of those things that we get depressed about. And we had a show on depression, but I just want to bring it back full surface. Like I said, all these subjects going to come full surface. We'll connect the dots for you. So depression is when you as a person are dwelling on things that you cannot change, either the past or circumstances that happened in the past, and things like that. That is things that you cannot change. So it's literally you versus you. You are in your own mind, and you're wasting energy when you're being depressed, because that same energy it takes to think about how bad things are, to think about how sad you are, to think about how worse things are, that same energy can be used to figure out how to make things better. What am I going to do to change my circumstances? How can I be better than I was yesterday than I was today? How can I be better last year? What can I do differently in order to avoid that downfall? And see, when you have goals, that's what they're not telling us. They don't want us to have goals. Schools do not breed goals. They don't give you goals because you are bred to funnel into their financial system, go to college and do whatever. But I'm telling you that the Most High gave us skills. And if we don't seek those skills out and we don't make goals on that skills, we don't make good on life. And that's why we depressed, because life is done on purpose. It's no such thing as a man talking about, I didn't know this baby was going to be born, or a woman ain't know this baby was going to be born. When you sat down, you laid down, you had unprotected sex. Life is done on purpose. Life is purpose. So as long as you have life, you have purpose. Make your purpose known in this world.
Yes. And yes.
Figure out your purpose and you will not be depressed. You ain't got time to be depressed when you got goals to reach. You ain't got time to think about how bad the enemy attacking you. You ain't got time to think about all that stuff. That stuff already happened. You can't change it, but you can change your future, and it's right there in front of you. And that's what we gonna do.
Bam! BMore4Real, y'all. You know what, Daniel? I am really impressed with the fire that came out with the passion. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know what? That's leadership, and continue. You know you are in my prayers. God bless you with, the situation at hand. But I love you, my brother.
Yeah, I love you more, Uncle Wayne. I definitely love you more, Uncle Wayne. And we appreciate all the viewers and the subscribers and everything. We on our road to 200. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. It's the realest conversation on the net. It's the realest conversation on the net. A lot of people will be upset, but we here to make the haters even madder. You know what I'm saying? Here to make the proud even prouder. So we're not here to be a people pleaser. What we here to do is put the people on with real game. Be more for real, man. Rated R for reality. Just get your weekly dose of reality. You know what I'm saying? And like I said,
let me remind you real quick.
Yes, sir.
Every week, at the end of the show, I will continue to let you know about our forums and me with the mayoral campaign, because I'm in full status straight ahead. So every Wednesday, we'll let you know what we're doing for that week.
Every Wednesday.
Keep me in prayer.
Keep us
I
in
am
prayer.
Uncle Wayne.
I'm OMG, and definitely keep my niece, keep my family,
Oh
keep
my
all of us in prayer.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Through this
Yes.
time, you know what I'm saying. Anybody that's dealing with that, go ahead and share this video. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what topics that we didn't hit on, where we could have, where we could have really drilled some points home. You know, we definitely appreciate the viewer feedback. I know this is a heavy topic for people to deal with, especially
That it
in
is, but it's a
this
real
time.
one.
But
It's
what better
time though.
time to be more for real about our situation than right now? I'm your co-host, OMG Danny.
I'm Uncle Wayne.
Be more for real. Keep it locked with us
Be
each and every
blessed, y'all.
Wednesday.